various time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and welcome to the Magic Monday Witchy Hour. Today we're going to have a happy Beltane. All right. I'm going to say hello to Margaret. Hi, Margaret. I had forgotten that it is Beltane. So much other things crowding in on me. It's like my responsibilities are haunting me. All right. Well, thank you for coming. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Mint. Nice to see you guys. So I would like to start today with this week, in fact, with a grounding meditation, because I know our weekends aren't as relaxing as they should be. So they take quite a bit of spoons lately, astrologically and stuff like that. So let's do a grounding ritual to start your day. This starts near your domain, so if you've not created a domain, you might want to sign up for my defunct newsletter, which is linked below. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Hold on. There we go. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. As you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. It enters at the top of your head and spreads down over your face, neck, and shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside the door of your domain. The air is crisp and cool. The evergreens sway slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are, how close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. Your roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. Woo! All right. Tarot card. If I can actually grab it. We are going to be pulling from the Tarot of the Divine. Every card is a masterpiece. Inspired by deities, folklore, and fairy tales from around the world. By the by. How are you guys doing? Happy Beltane. We're going to be talking about all kinds of like stuff on how we usually celebrate May Day, which is today proper May Day. And had to reload the page, starting to catch up now. Okay. All right. This is usually a 3-card reading. We got the World reversed, which is not great. We got the Devil, which is also not great. And we got the 10 of Wands reversed, which is better. So, been noticing my jaw tension this Taurus season. Yeah. Let's see what the book says, because it probably words it a lot better than I do. The Devil gives into the ego, lusting for unnecessary or harmful things, unwilling to leave negative situations. It is a dragon sitting atop. It is a. If I can get the card. It is a dragon sitting atop a pile of gold it does not need. A person setting a forest on fire for their own gain. Greed, controversy, violence, strange experiences, and addiction. 10 of Wands. Was it 10 of Swords? No. The 10 of Wands. Oh. Avoidance, burnout, overcommitting, stretched thin, giving up. So it sounds like we're succumbing to our world. Imperfection, disappointment, shortcuts, short-sightedness, and anxiety. World reversed. It's kind of like your life is good. It is, but you kind of don't appreciate it while it's happening. But once you actually review shit, you're like, oh no, it is actually pretty good. So this week, it seems like we're going to be succumbing to our addictions, kind of giving up, being resistant to said addiction. Hi, Archie. Good to see you. Good to see you. We're about to do horoscopes as soon as I put these cards away. Run out of desk space, so I'm putting shit on the floor. The general, our minds may be especially nimble today. The detail-oriented Virgo moon supports clever Uranus, helping us solve practical problems. As transformative Pluto turns retrograde at 1:09 p.m. Eastern, perhaps we'll also want to reflect on how we've been using our power lately. The sun then conjoins articulate Mercury, so talking or journaling things out could prove and bring useful insights. On the other hand, when Luna opposes idealistic Neptune, we might be too hard on ourselves. Remember that we can only do better when we know better. Also, horoscope for rizzles. All right, so Beltane. Much like Samhain, Beltane is the most known pagan holiday whose roots go far back into the past. Let me move this so it looks like I'm looking at the screen and talking to you guys. Beltane, also called May Day, is the holiday celebrated on May 1st. It's one of the few pagan holidays that is well known around the world to everyone. It is also one of the very few holidays that is still widely celebrated with festivals and activities. What is Beltane? So what is Beltane all about? Beltane is opposite to Samhain, but also very similar. Just like Samhain, the veil is incredibly thin and around this holiday, allowing a communication with ancestors, spirits, and gods. I say, I will note. It is a very powerful time energetically. Beltane is pronounced Beltane. It is an English word, therefore it is pronounced exactly how we spell it according to the English language phonetics. And what does it actually mean? Hi. Beltane is one of the four main Celtic festivals associated with the beginning of summer. Traditionally, it is celebrated on May 1st, but in Scottish, Irish, and other Gaelic languages, the word Beltane is connected to the entire month of May. The name Beltane indicates the ancient origin of the holiday, but the etymology of the word is complicated. According to one version, it means the fire of Bel, one of the Celtic gods of the sun. His cult was so widespread that it even reached the Romans, who compared Bel to Apollo. Since Beltane marked the beginning of the bright half of the year, this theory is quite possible. We'll talk about the dark and light halves later on. Other theory is that the word is derived from the Celtic Betotethnia, which means bright fire. Lastly, it is possible that it has a connection to the words white or shining due to the common root in Old English and Slavic languages. Belgi in modern Russia is indeed white. But if you ask me, I would probably agree to the theory that connects Beltane to the word or concept of fire. It is an extremely important element of Beltane, and I would imagine that a holiday would be named in connection to the element and god associated with it. History and traditions. Oh, it's complicated. We are. Maybe. In Gaelic, we Beltane. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I want to quickly touch on the old Celtic year structure, as the holidays are naturally based around it. There is another version of the meaning of the Beltane, and it points to the word Beltu, or death, which has not survived in modern Gaelic. The year of the Celts was divided into two parts, dark and light, winter and summer. Beltane marked the beginning of the bright part of the year, the birth of the big sun, and at the same time marked the death of the small sun, the dark part of the year, which perhaps explains the name Bel. Was responsible not only for the sun. In many legends, he is also mentioned as the god of death. One of the main traditions of the holiday was the lighting of ritual bonfires on higher grounds. We saw lighting and jumping over the bonfires during other holidays of the wheel too, so you're probably familiar with this tradition if you have been reading this blog at any point. It was necessary to jump over the fires or pass between them for energetic purification and cleansing. Cattle was walked between the fires to clear them of the winter ailments and protect them from the new season. In ancient times, the Celts made sacrifices inside the wicker man, from food to animals. In our rather humane time, the wicker man is mostly burned empty. Interesting fact, some sources state that the human sacrifices were made, but in reality, we don't know for sure. The biggest source of these claims is Caesar and manuscripts made by Greeks and Romans, but they are not seen as questionable. Christian manuscripts did not make such claims. Romans did have quite ill intentions, and it's possible that they have spread this misinformation to portray the traditions of the Celts in a negative way. In reality, the culture of the Celts had suffered even before the arrival of Christianity. The keepers of these traditions, the Druids, were targeted and destroyed by the Romans. Even though the Romans were quite tolerant towards the gods of other peoples, they nevertheless saw in the Druids the force that inspired the Celts to resist the invaders. With the disappearance of the Druids, many rites became a mere tradition, the meaning of which no one understood. But even if it is true, it is said that people sacrificed were volunteers, so to speak. It's mainly older and ill folks that would give themselves up to the Druids. Because those damn Romans, those damn English, those damn Irish. Also, one of the important attributes of Beltane was the maypole, which was placed in the center of the place where the festival was held. This pole was decorated with colorful ribbons and flowers. People would dance around them, and at the same time, men and women had to hold on to the ribbons and move in opposite directions. As a result, the ribbons tightly braided the pole, and this symbolized fertility and the awakening of the energy of Mother Earth. And so, also the awakening of Carnoon. The tradition of making a maypole is of Germanic origin, and it was brought to the British Isles by the Anglo-Saxons. The pole symbolized the god fertilizing the earth. A large wreath was hung on the top of the maypole, which, like the tree itself, was decorated with flowers and ribbons. Maypole was the center of the festivities. People would dance around it and play games. Each village vigilantly guarded its maypole, while at the same time trying to steal the tree of its neighbors. If they succeeded, the losing side redeemed their tree for ale and various treats. During the period of Christianization, Beltane was pushed and replaced by the day of Saint Walburga, with Easter celebrations being very close to the date of Beltane too. But some of its traditions were preserved in the folk May holiday. In recent years, there has been a growing interest in Celtic holidays, so there is a variety of ethnic festivals held on Beltane across Europe. Beltane is a very interesting holiday. As much as it is a beautiful and fun celebration, the legends and myths also say if something bad was to happen, it would happen on Beltane. Probably this is related to the thinning of the veil and the concept of death we talked about through history. But through history, we see a very clear duality of this holiday. As Beltane is considered to be the peak of fertility, it is an ideal time for marriage. Interestingly, in the culture of the woman who wrote this, May is the worst month to get married. I think it is the worst month to get married here as well, because it's so expensive. The custom of choosing the May Queen on this day is also interesting. She was the only one who would wear green clothes on this day to honor the friendship of people with the fairies and elves. Oh, I guess I should be wearing green. How to celebrate? I think the celebration of Beltane is really divided into two categories, the festival and the celebration at home. Most of us will have to settle down for the second option, so let's see what we can do to have an awesome Beltane this year. When I Googled Beltane, it was to buy tickets for various celebrations. So there's that to consider. Most of us, yeah, okay. We'll have to see what we can do for an awesome Beltane this year. Most holidays of the wheel start with some kind of ritual cleansing, and Beltane is no exception. In fact, ritual cleansing with fire was a big part of Beltane. We can adapt this tradition in our home by lighting a candle, black, plain beeswax, or herbal cleansing candles, and walk around the home with an intention to banish all the built-up negativity, stress, arguments, and illnesses. After you are done, let the candle burn through entirely and throw away any leftovers in the trash with a few coins. That's interesting. Usually I throw stuff in the water and then turn away, like in like a stream or a river or something that's flowing, and then turn around and walk away. But, to each their own. Side note, if you are using herbal candles, you can put them out with a candle snuffer and reuse later. There are large candles that tend to burn for hours, so of course we won't want to waste them like that. For protection against evil spirits and negative energy, make a bouquet or an ornament that includes rowan branches and place it in the front yard or your entry hallways. People also decorate windows with primrose petals and green branches so that the fairies do not enter the home while people are out celebrating. Beltane colors are green, white, red, yellow, and blue. So use ribbons and decorations in these colors during the holiday and month of May in general. Unlike Ostara, Beltane is not known for soft and pastel shades. It is a very colorful holiday. What to wear on Beltane? Beltane outfit and color selection is one of the most commonly asked questions. Of course, people often wonder what to wear to a Beltane festival, but even if you are celebrating this Beltane alone or at home, the outfit can help to tune in the energy of this holiday. On Beltane, it used to be a rule to wear clothes made out of natural... Let me try this again. On Beltane, it used to be a rule to wear clothes made out of what nature created, so to speak. You don't have to go that far, and you can just wear floral patterns and bright colors. Green colors were worn by the May Queen only, but probably this will only affect you if you are participating in a traditional Beltane festival. All right, table and food. So here is something crazy about Beltane. In contrast to the generous Samhain and many other holidays, on Beltane it is not customary to share anything. Neither water from the house, nor flour, nor coal, nor milk. It is believed that along with the gift, luck and prosperity will leave the house. The traditional food of Beltane is, of course, Beltane bannock, which is quite a plain flat bread or oat cake. Originally, it was used strictly as an offering, but later adapted a meaning of ritual food. You can substitute eat with homemade bread and cookies. Don't overthink it. No, okay. I will include a traditional simple recipe of bannock if you are interested in a rather modern recipe of the oat cake. Check out the printable. Cup and a half of rolled oats, quarter cup of baking soda, 1 tablespoon unsalted butter, half a cup of hot water, and a pinch of salt. You can pretty much assume how it works. Combine together oats, optionally slightly grinded, with the baking soda. Add a pinch of salt, maybe more if you want more flavor. Pour the butter on top. Gradually add water and mix to form a dough. The bannock dough has a rather tough texture compared to regular homemade bread. Cut the dough into equal portions, depending on the size that you want. Roll each ball with a rolling pin to make it flat. Pancake if desired thickness. Add more flour if you are struggling to roll out the dough. Place your oat cakes on the greased baking sheet and bake for 20 to 30 minutes, turning midway. When the edges of your bannock start to brown and the oatcakes are dried at the touch, take them out and cool on the rack. Serve with butter, honey, or traditional Beltane food correspondences. All right, morning dew. It's a little late for morning dew here, but maybe you guys are earlier in the morning. Oh, I've got a top for that, but it's racy. Not the best choice for AWC announcement. Oh, AWC announcement is today, isn't it? Oh, look forward to that. I'm still working through seed cake I made in a 9-inch pan. That'll teach me. Yeah. No. Just like fire, water plays an important role in Beltane traditions. Magical power was attributed to the dew on this day. Animals were sprayed with it. Women tried to wash themselves with May dew at dawn in order to be healthy and beautiful. Beltane morning dew is also used in attraction magic and love spells. The dew is collected in a dish no one has drunk from before, and the spell is said to charge it. This water is then added to a drink of a person you wish to attract. By the way, morning dew is a great tool for health spells. The way our ancestors collected the dew was by using a cloth. Run the cloth along the plants and then squeeze the water out on the dish. Create and wear a flower wreath. Oh, I should have brought mine downstairs. I have one. Another way to celebrate Beltane is the weaving of wreaths of flowers and herbs. On this holiday, it was supposed to make a wreath and let it float on the water as a gift from nature. At the same time, it was necessary to make the most secret desire. It must have come true. But before you part with your wreath, wear it on your head for some time to really charge it with the energy of your intention and make it personal. Plus, it is just so beautiful. You can wear it during your Beltane ritual for an extra energetical boost. Using the flowers, herbs, and plants from my Beltane correspondences section of the printable, which I'll probably put in the chat. You can also perform a candle ritual. We talked about fire a lot in this post, but you can never talk too much about it when it comes to Beltane. The fire on Beltane helps to establish the connection between worlds as the veil is thinning. Perform any type of candle ritual you like. You may want to connect with the ancestors, as Beltane is the perfect time for that. This can also be a cleansing ritual or even a charging one. You can use a crystal candle to charge the crystal with your intention and then carry it with you. What if you are alone? Beltane is one of the few pagan holidays with famous large celebrations, but frankly, very few of those are left around the world. Some countries still honor this tradition, but if you live in the country that doesn't, most likely you will be celebrating it alone, especially given what's going on in the world nowadays. Of course, it is great to celebrate Beltane in a friendly company of like-minded people. But even in solitude, you can offer a prayer or, for example, leave an offering for the fairies, gods and ancestors in the house or in the garden, as the elves once did. And where are your printables? I don't know. It was written by Lady Veronica. Oh. I was just invited to go to dinner at a beach bar and restaurant in Arlington on the 21st. That sounds fun. All right. Oh, are there any questions regarding Beltane? I note that the veil is so thin that they come to my house often. I also live amongst a lot of trees, so they often will come out of the woods and hang out. Working with Fae, hanging out with Fae is dicey at best. They might convince you to do things you wouldn't normally do. And they are party-holics. They party super hard. And that kind of like goes into the convincing you to do things you wouldn't normally do. They can be pushy, but don't get too close. Like, keep them at arm's length, because don't make a deal. Whatever you do, don't make a deal. Are hunting my nose. There will likely be sneezes on today's live. Oh, sorry, honey. Life is your day, yeah. Some fare good, others not so good. Yes, definitely bad. I like to go into the woods and like hang out with them and clean up any trash and party with the Fae. Sorry, I misread that. It's easy to eat more than 2 a day. Had a bad experience that I feel hurt some of my life. Oh. I was about 7. Oh, that's tragic. Usually children and Fae Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. I have yet to have a negative experience, but I am a paranoid bitch. My cup is empty. I should not sip from it. Ate a clover they were fond of. Oh no, and I don't think they wanted to share. Yeah. Yeah, I know those. I know how that can be problematic. My yard is mostly moss and clover, both backyard and front yard. So, and I have a big lava rock that's covered in moss, like a big lava rock in my front yard. I have had some good tea. I want to say my practice keeps things on an even keel so that things aren't too good and things aren't too bad. Those sweet red clovers. Oh, I gotcha. We don't have red clover. We have white. Clover blossoms. So be careful when messing with fae. Sometimes if I'm going out at the witching hour and I'm working in the woods, I will throw apples to the fae so that they don't bother me. Because I don't work with fae. I kind of don't want their influence on my magic. I am not a fae. I mean, I will party with them, sure, but I'm not going to. Well, they are actually more purple here. Pull out the petals and suck on the end that was in the flower. Oh, very sweet tasting. They are. That is very cool. I have never tried to eat a white one, but I will try this year and see what's up. It's my territory. I can do what I want. But they hang out at around my house all the time. They like to come and hang out with me while I smoke, because I smoke cloves. They tend to go elsewhere when people are smoking like normal tobacco. I usually recognize them as insects that I've never seen before. They like to come to my house to die. It's peculiar. Well, I should be wrapping up anyway. If you like this video at any point, I encourage you to hit the like button. If you would like to see more streams or videos like this one, I encourage you to. They are in this article. I encourage you to subscribe and maybe even ring that bell on the off chance that YouTube actually notifies you when I go live. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Happy Beltane.